Okay, this is the video that I want to make, that I'm making right now, in speaking to the speech that Donald Trump gave. The speech basically hit most of the points that are salient to the black community, but not all of them, okay? There wasn't any mention, and I can understand it, because this speech was designed to be a speech that focused on non-controversial points. I didn't expect him to say anything about the criminal justice system or the police state that a lot of people believe that we live in. There were a lot of points that he could have hit, and again, I understand that the reason why he didn't. He did not have a problem once he entered the church, because as most churches behave, a guest is almost always treated with respect, whether you agree with the opinions and viewpoints of the guest or not. You know, weren't going to be a lot of booing. There wasn't going to be any booing. You weren't going to see any signs inside the church, etc., etc. Now, there were protests outside the church. You know, that's another matter. If any other Republican had given this speech and had the background to back up these words with actual actions, Hillary Clinton would be in a hell of a lot of trouble. But Donald Trump has a history, and that history mutes a lot of the good things that were said in this particular speech. Now, if he had done this a long time ago, he could have possibly, I say possibly, done something to mitigate his history. What could he have done? He could have acknowledged certain things in a way that didn't totally dump on him. And now I'm talking about the housing discrimination lawsuit. I'm talking about the retweeting of various things. I'm talking about his assault on the Central Park 5. That needed to be addressed, and still needs to be addressed, with, at the minimum, an apology to those 5 kids and an acknowledgement that he was wrong. He further needs to come to Jesus on his birther push against President Obama, because black people pretty much are never going to forget that. Now, they might, given the right circumstances, forgive if he is contrite enough, if he falls on, his sword and admits that he was totally wrong for what he did there. But all of that would take time. And then he would have to show in his actions that he really was contrite. He has an easy path in order to make that happen. He can point to Senator Byrd out of West Virginia, who was a Democrat, who was a former Klansman, who late in life apologized to the black community and the country for his previous actions, and then through actions showed that he really believed and acted upon what he said in his apology. Donald Trump could have done or can do the same thing, but he doesn't. Now he doesn't have enough time. He definitely doesn't have enough time. The Republican Party made a huge mistake in putting him up there. If they had put anybody other than a Ted Cruz making the same speech, if a Rand Paul had been up there making this speech, if a John Kasich had been up there making this speech, if a Jeb Bush had been up there making this speech, not only would it have been well received, but I'm here to tell you that that speech there would probably, I can't know for sure, but I'm saying that speech with a better background would probably have gotten those candidates some votes. But in this particular case, because of his background, because of his lack of contrition over the various points that I have mentioned, politeness, yes. Does he get an A for going to this particular church? Yes. Does he get another A for actually making remarks where the format called for him not to address the church? Yeah, he gets an A for that as well. But those are grades that are part of an overall grade. And right now, as far as his history, he gets an F for his history. So now you have to start weighing stuff. What do you give more weight to? The history or the current remarks? Now, there are a lot of people out there that are going to say there's a reason that Donald Trump finally, and I do mean finally, addressed black people. And they're going to say that he really was doing this in order to soften his image among the independents, and especially the independent, college-educated white women. If he can soften his image, and this is an excellent photo op for him to do so, obviously they would be more willing to vote for him. And he absolutely has to increase his numbers in that segment of the voting population. I don't know if this does it for him. Possibly it will. But now we need to see what he is going to do going forward. Now, I'm just straight out, I don't believe this is the real Donald Trump. I will tell you that though he says that he wrote this speech several days ago, it has also been reported that the Republican Party, the RNC, told him that they wanted to see a copy of that speech before he gave it. And when they got a copy of that speech, they scrubbed it. And they scrubbed it hard. So are these really his words or the words of a conglomeration of people, especially the black people that were put in positions of authority in the RNC in order to make a sincere outreach to the African American community? I think that that really is the case. But again, they did an excellent job as far as this speech was concerned. And even when he went off script and ad-libbed, he didn't stay off script long, and he was, in my opinion, very careful on what he said when he did go off script. So that's my critique of this. Now, again, we have a little bit more than 60 days to the election. Obviously, he's going to make more speeches. He's probably going to make a speech in front of a large group of the Hispanic community, probably a Hispanic church. We'll see. But I want to see what he says when he gets back in front of his normal, predominantly white crowds. I want to see what he says then. And I want to see what his comments are when he makes reference to the African American community in speaking to them. One thing for sure that he could do is he could get rid of Steve Bannon, because that guy is an anathema as far as the black community is concerned. Anytime you have an alternate right guy running your campaign, he's the CEO for Trump's campaign, and this guy was the driving force behind Breitbart after the founder died. And Breitbart specializes in denigrating black people. That would go, in my mind, a long way towards making good on the comments that he made today. All right, anyway, comments are welcome. Please, no racial epithets from anybody on this. Just speak to the speech. You know, as far as what you think about everybody else, it's yada, yada, yada. You know, go make your own videos if you want to do that stuff. But as far as the speech and the points that I've made, please keep your comments just to those. If you have different points of view, no problem. Put your, write your comments, get your points of views out there. They're welcome. I just got through this morning dealing with a guy that was totally out in left field somewhere, and all of his comments were, in my opinion, Fox based. I left his comments up on a video because he didn't use bad language, he didn't denigrate me, he basically stated his opinion based on facts that I believe he got from Fox News or right-wing media outlets, whatever, okay? And I told him that I would not take his comments down because he didn't use foul language and he was trying to make his points. And then I addressed each point one by one. Now, I haven't gotten a response back from him because I just did it early this morning, and I get hundreds of comments, and it takes me a long time to get through them. And I'm going to tell you, I don't get through all of them, but if I see something catches my eye, especially on a particular video, I will look through the comments, and if need be, I will respond to them. So please make your comments, feel free. Again, keep it straight, keep it clean, no denigration of any of the other people that are commenting. Get your point of view out there, and let's wing it.